everybody. So welcome to Rachel's Reviews. Today I have a somewhat controversial video to share with you all. Something I've been thinking about for a long time, but it all came to my attention today because Cynthia Erivo was asked at Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade how she felt about people singing at the Wicked screenings. It's not at the sing-alongs, it's just the regular screenings. And she said,
Weighed in on whether or not it's okay to sing in the theater, because a lot of people are singing in the theater.
Good.
Yes.
You're okay with it?
I'm okay with it. We've spent this long singing it ourselves. It's time for everyone else to join in. It's wonderful. Yeah.
so that's what she said. And I have to say, I basically agree with her. I know that's a very, very hot take for a lot of people in the film space in particular, that anybody could say they're okay with people singing at screenings. Let me dive in a little bit more because, like most things in life, it's a nuanced discussion. So let's start out setting the stage. Whether you're going to a film screening or to a live production, we can all agree that this is a communal experience. This is a group experience. We don't usually know all the people in the audience, and we are all there together to experience this piece of art together. I think we can also agree that certain types of audiences are appropriate for certain types of experiences. For example, I think that the audience for most funerals is going to be a different expectation than the audience for your typical concert. That's not going to be the same audience and the same expectations. Different events have different expectations. Certainly, if you're going to a sports game, the expectations of audience behavior is different than, again, a funeral or a mass or some kind of solemn event. I think we can also agree that not every experience needs to be a library. Not everything needs to be hush hush, no interaction, no response, silent, right? And I also think that we can agree that there is some degree of a spectrum of human behavior, right? So we can have an extreme. So let's say we have people that check their phone for 15 seconds to see what time it is. That would be like a 1 in phone behavior. But then there's people who literally are taking calls and watching full programs in the middle of the movie theater or other live event. That would be like a 10, right? And so I think that most of us can agree that the 10 is out of line. That's not appropriate for a group communal experience. And I hope that most of us can agree that the 1 is fine. Like, it's not going to really bother our experience or change anything. Somebody's checking, somebody's trying to reach me. There might be an emergency. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go out and see what's going on. Look at their phone for literally 15 seconds. I'm fine with that. Maybe they are a doctor and they get called and they have a buzzer so okay, I'm going to go. Things like that. There is a spectrum of human behavior, right? And I think you can say the same thing with other types of human behavior. So like a 10 would be people that are literally singing loudly the entire time, the entire movie. Okay, that would be like a 10. Talking loudly, making loud remarks, commentary, things like that. That would be a 10. I would say a 1 is somebody who gets caught up in the moment and sings a verse or sings a line because they're so excited. That would be like a 1, right? And my problem is that I think too often we treat a 1 like a 10. And we allow ourselves to feel like we can control everybody and everyone's response has to be the same and has to be, instead of just looking at it and being like, oh, isn't that charming? They got caught up in the moment. Isn't that fun? They really love this song. How cute that they did that. No, we immediately jump to a 10 response instead of just being like, this is a fun group experience that we're having. And I just wish that more people would have their group communal experience cap on and their patient caps on and not expect everyone to behave exactly the way that they wish that they would. Again, this is not a library. This is not an experience where people are expected to not move at all. And you see that sometimes in some of these, particularly in theater, you see that, oh, people unwrapping a candy or moving at all. Like, it's just ridiculous. And I feel that because I am a fidgeter, and it's very hard, especially some of these long shows that are 3 hours. It's hard for me to sit that long, and it's hard for me to not fidget. That's just like a physical thing that happens. And I have a spinner that is this small. You literally can't even see it when I have it in my hand. Barely. And I had somebody at an event that reamed me out because I was literally going like this. I mean, if somebody doing this bothers you so much, then you need to not be in public. You need to not be with other human beings. I get it that certain people have ADHD and like they're distracted very easily. I'm sensitive to that. But again, this is a group experience. We need to do all that we can to make it work as a group experience. And instead of just being like, oh, look, she has a fidgeter. Isn't that charming that she's still finding a way to go out? Isn't that cute? Instead of just looking at it as a positive thing, you immediately jump to a 10. There's no world where me doing this is worthy of being yelled at. That's just not appropriate. It's not reasonable to do that. And that's the problem that we get sometimes. If I am fiddling with my program a little bit, then that's like, I'm sorry, I'm not a perfect human being. Like, I am a flawed human being. We're having a group experience. We're all trying as hard as we can. Most of us, again, you have the jerks and the truly people that everybody for the most part agrees are behaving badly. But I don't think it really helps in dealing with those people when we turn a 1 or a 2 into a 10, when we're constantly being irritated by everybody around us. Then you just have a miserable experience. And, you can just stay home. You can just watch pro shots of Broadway shows. You can watch Hamilton at home. You don't need to go see it with other humans if they annoy you so much. Just watch it at home. And problem solved. If you are so annoyed by the slightest movement from another person, by the littlest gesture that they might do, from literally this, if that's going to get you, then you should stay home and enjoy whatever movie you see in the privacy of your own home. You can have it be like a library where nobody talks. And that's great. Like, do it. There's nothing stopping you. But if you choose to have a communal experience, a group experience, then you need to develop some degree of patience with your other humans who are choosing to have this experience with you. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And if somebody is so caught up in the moment that they sing a line of a song, then who cares? Like, yay, they loved the song. That's so fun. I love it too. And some of the best experiences that I have had in movie theaters have been when people get caught up in the moments, have been when people are cheering and laughing. And when I have friends that I love going to see scary movies with them because they get so into it and they get their expressions and literally sometimes shrieking, and all of that is so fun that it makes everything more fun for the whole movie. And yet there could be that same person who turns that response, like my friend Jax we saw Evil Dead the musical, we saw The Woman in Black, and she got so invested and she was so responsive, and it made it really fun. But I could picture there are people who turn that into a negative instead of it being like, look how invested she is. This is so instead of it adding to your own enthusiasm, you find a way to make it a problem. And that just makes me sad. Again, if you can't handle being part of a group experience, then don't be part of a group experience. Don't be where other people are going to have reactions and laugh and smile. I've heard people in theater groups complain about people giving standing ovations, that they don't think that that's deserved to give a standing ovation. Like, how dare you decide for another person when how they respond, how they clap at the end? Like, give me a break. Like, that's just so ridiculous Like, why are you so concerned with other people and their behavior? Just watch the whatever you paid to watch and just ignore other people that don't behave exactly the way that you want them to. Like, that's just absurd and frustrating. And you just hear the same complaints over and over again. And I feel like it becomes sort of a cry wolf situation that people complain about everything, so that when you actually get a legit 10, like, I went to Beetlejuice on Broadway and there were two girls in front of me that literally sang along the entire time, the whole musical. Like, that is worthy of a complaint. That is worthy of groaning. That is worthy of, that's a 10 the whole time. And you're paying $90 or whatever, $100 for this show, at least. That's worthy of a complaint. But like, if you complain about every little thing that anybody does, then nobody cares about you. Nobody wants to be around you if they can't laugh, if they can't cheer, if they can't smile, if they can't sing one line of a song in a musical. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of frustrating to me, especially from my perspective as a fidgeter, that I'm trying so hard to make other people happy and trying to be polite, but I am who I am. So what is your solution? Are you going to try to take that from me? Are you going to try to take my experience with the arts? No, that's ridiculous. Again, if you can't handle this, then you shouldn't leave your house. And so I don't know, that's just how I feel. And I just feel like, yes, let them sing, let them become invested in the movie. They're feeling it so much that they sing a little bit and they get excited and it's cute. And there you go. Again, if they're doing it the entire time, then that's getting into a different discussion. But I feel like for the most part, you're talking about, oh, I just got really into it and I sang a line, I sang a verse, something like that. It's fine. It's fine. If anything, you should get more invested and participate in this group experience together. That's what we lost in the pandemic. We lost communal experiences and it was horrible. It was horrible. And they tried to make up for it by having Zoom experiences and the other kinds of group experiences, which were a blessing at the time, but did not make up for that truly communal arts experience. And I wouldn't give that up for anything. And I mean, I just think of like when I saw The Secret Life of Pets, there was this little girl, and I don't know what her caregivers were thinking, because they literally allowed her to just come up. I was on the aisle because I always sit on the aisle, and this little girl comes up. She sits on the stairs. She looks at me, and she just started chatting. And they didn't seem to care. They and the movie was so blah. I didn't really care, and she was just so cute. But you know what? I wouldn't want that for every experience, but that movie was completely forgettable. And you know what I do remember? I remember a little girl sitting next to me and started chatting with me. I remember that. I would not remember that screening if it wasn't for that experience. And you could say that it's insane, and it was, that her parents or caregiver let her do that. It is, but like, it's just part of a communal experience. Sometimes things like that happen. Sometimes strange experiences happen, and you're just a lot happier in life if you just smile and say, oh, this is a cute little girl. That was an interesting experience. That was unique. And then, that's it. That's it. And that's what I would just challenge everybody to say, that is as often as you can, if you can look at something as part of the communal experience, people enjoying what they're seeing, reacting to it in some way, being human beings who aren't perfect, and this is not a library. If you can have that hat on, you're just going to enjoy things more. You're going to be happier. You're going to like movie and theaters more if you just have your cap on and you say, like Cynthia Erivo, good, I'm okay with it. We spent this long singing it ourselves. It's time for everyone else to join in. If you just have that mindset, you'll be happier. It'll be way better. And then when there's actual 10s when people are truly being rude and truly being inconsiderate, then people will actually take your word for it because they know that you're not somebody who freaks out about things and it takes a lot to get you upset. So that's what would be my suggestion to theater goers and moviegoers is have your patient pants on. This is a communal experience and enjoy it together and enjoy people's differing responses. You'll like things so much better. So that's what I have to say about that. Let me know what you think. I know it's highly controversial, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Put in the comments section or on Twitter. You can follow me, Rachel's Reviews, all over the place. Make sure you check out Hallmarkies podcast. Lots of fun content going over there. And please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. And also check out the Patreon group. We have lots of fun discussions there. And we have cool experiences like Q&As, other patron events. Please take a look at the Patreon. I'm really trying to make it worth your investment. And then we have the merch store where you can get all kinds of fun designs, particularly holiday movie designs, but there's others. So check that out. And thanks so much, everybody. And we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.